This podcast contains paid advertisements, but more on that later. Welcome to the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast, where I discuss how you can grow your business by the bootstraps. This applies to all entrepreneurs, from the person just starting up to the one that is already well established. My goal is to help you grow. I am your host, Isaiah O'Connor. Okay, so today's sponsor is HappyScribe. What is HappyScribe? It's a transcription and subtitling service that can do 119 languages and accents. With the HappyScribe solution, you can upload any format of audio or video from anywhere in just seconds, and it will magically convert them into text and subtitles. They also provide unique interactive editors to review, tweak, and edit transcripts and subtitles before downloading in the format of your choice. Now, I was reading their explanation of what they do. I've been using it. It's really nice. They automatically punctuate. You can go in, you can change, you can listen to the audio. It highlights the text that it's saying. If there's anything you didn't understand, you can fix it. And I will be doing this as to kind of base my blog off of. And I might be starting to offer transcriptions of of podcasts for anyone who's interested when they join my soon-becoming subscription service. Working on a new subscription service that will get you ad-free content, early content, and some extras I'm working on. Anyway, let's jump into this. So, I talk about business a lot, and I also talk about what type of person you need to be in business, and personality traits, not personality traits per se, but, well, just things you need to do, like being an honorable guy, being dangerous, always learning. These are things and habits that are great and very important for business. But there's another side to all this. And I was reminded of this from the book Good to Great. I started listening to it again. I did a bit of a review of it before. I'm going to be breaking down some chapters going forward. Oh, and as a side note, I have now opened up a book club I started that wasn't moving that much on Facebook, but there is now an O'Connor Bootstrap book club where you can go and we can talk about business books, business development. We're going to be going through a lot of books. Good to Great is the first one. Just go look up O'Connor Bootstrap Book Club on Facebook, and you can join us there. And one of the things in the very beginning of the book, Good to Great, he talks about how while this is a book about business, the principles can help you make a great church, a great sports team, a great anything. And that's something I've discovered as I've journeyed on into this wild, wild west of learning about business and becoming a businessman and becoming a bootstrapper. I find that I have to, it's helped me become a better person in my personal life. It's made me more focused in my own personal life, more disciplined in my own personal life. And that's something that's amazing about jumping into something like business. As long as you're always learning, as long as you stay determined, and all these other things I talked about, it can help you become a better person overall. And quite honestly, I think that's the most important thing about this podcast. Sure, I talk about business and talk about what makes you better at business and how to work in business, but a lot of these principles, like one of my favorites, being a giver, will help you out in all walks of life, in your everyday life, with your spouse, with your kids. There's application of a lot of these principles that bleed over into your everyday life. And I have to say that's the most important part. You've heard me say when you go into business, you really should go into business for other people, not just for yourself. Sure, for yourself. Sure, you want to do what you love. Sure, you want to become wealthy and own the business and take care of your family. Sure. But the most important thing for me is to help other people, to provide something that other people need, to bless other people, to give them value. That's the most important thing when it comes to business, in my opinion. And this is my opinion. I think it's borne out by a lot of the way I've seen the most successful businesses run. When businesses cease to be about focusing on other people and supporting other people, they start to focus on the bottom line only, and they start collapsing in on themselves. That's another podcast going to be having in the near future. But the point is, as you grow in business, you can grow as a person, even if you're not running your own service yet, even if you're not bootstrapping it. You need to, as you grow, as you focus on business, as you become a better person, the better person you are, the more people like you, the more people like you, the more they'll want to do business with you, the happier you'll be, the happier you'll be with your family, your spouse, your kids. Being in business is not always easy. Sometimes it can cause extra stress, but as you learn how to deal with things in business and some of these business lessons on how to treat people, how to respect people, how to lead people, it can affect your everyday life with other every decision you make. Again, the most important parts of your life. Being with family, being with friends. A lot of these books about success deal with this. For example, the book The Go-Giver. I've talked about that before in the podcast about giving. It talks about the guy going home to his wife and becoming a giver to his wife and finding his marriage getting better while he was trying to pursue business instructions. In the book, he goes back home, starts giving to his wife, and it changes his marriage as well. It's amazing what happens. In the book, Seven Guides to Highly Effective People, that's an overall kind of a personal development book. However, a lot of that applies to business and personal life, and it addresses both areas. And this is so important to take the lessons you learn in business and apply them to your friends, to your family, to your life, to your your hobbies, to any sports teams, church groups, anything like that. You can use it and apply what you learn in business to your private life for great results. Not every lesson, of course. You don't always need the five competitive forces to analyze the way you deal with your kids. Not all of, obviously, not a lot of the practical stuff, but the principles of business, the principles of being a giver, the principles of providing value, of listening to your customer, listen to your kids, listen to your wife. Not that I always do this great. I'm still learning, but if I can apply the principles of business to my family can get better. My relationship with my wife can get better. So when you listen to this podcast and you doing your business or you go into your working career and as you develop personally, as you build yourself up in business, don't let it be compartmentalized into just business. Take it outside of there, take it home, take it to your family, be a better dad, better mom, be a better husband, better wife, whatever, because you can take these principles and use them back home. So don't always look at this as just a business podcast. I'll probably primarily talk about business, of course. But business and your home life go hand in hand. You can work yourself to death. You can lose your whole family. You can be successful in business and a horrible, horrible spouse and lose everything. That's the most important. You can focus so much on your family that you don't pay attention to business. Your business falls off. That whole work-life balance, which another book challenges, but there is something there. where you can take what you learn from your family and apply things in business and vice versa. So always look at that aspect as we go forward. It's very important, and I think it underpins a lot of being a successful person. It really does. Anyway, you all have a great night or a great day. You, I'll see you next week and talk to you later. Bye bye. Remember to get your free half-hour consultation by using our contact page and the links below. If you found value in this content, please give us a 5-star rating on whichever podcast platform you use. It is very helpful if you share this with your friends. If you'd like to directly support this podcast, I have a few donation links in the description, or you can check out the show sponsors. You have been listening to the O'Connor Bootstrap podcast, which is an Atheoz Business Solutions podcast. Our companion podcast, the Atheoz Business Podcast, which is hosted by Jason St. Clair. Our past episodes and related blogs, you can check out our website at www.atheoz.com, which is www.atheoz.com or atheoz.com. Remember, you can also check us out on the O'Connor Bootstrap Podcast Facebook group, where you can interact with me and other people who are bootstrappers and entrepreneurs. The link is in the description. Come check us out. I would love to interact with you. And until next time, I'm your friendly neighborhood entrepreneur, Isaiah O'Connor. See you later.